YouTube, what the heck is up? It's your boy Joey P, and in today's video we are going to be reviewing this brand new iPhone 14 Pro, this bad boy right here. We're going to be talking about some pros and cons and kind of comparing the picture quality, which I think is a big selling point for the new iPhones, to that of a mirrorless camera and how it stacks up just kind of in your creative line. I opted for the Pro over the Pro Max just for the size. I don't really like massive phones. They don't really fit well in my pockets, and I just prefer, honestly, this is like the perfect size for me. It fits well in my hands, fits well in pants and everything. You don't have to and nothing's ever in the way. So I've had it for just about a week now, and honestly, I'm loving it. I did not have the 12 or the 13, so I'm gonna put that disclaimer right here. Did not use 12, did not use 13. Can't give you a review compared to those. But I had the 11, so it's a huge upgrade from the 11. The first thing that I notice is the really silky smooth 120 hertz refresh rate on the screen. It feels seamless. Everything feels like it's put together. It feels fluid. If you're not a huge tech person, it may not be the first thing that you notice. Just for me personally, designing and all that, that's just kind of something that jumps off the page to me, just because coming from the 11, it's kind of like a jarring upgrade from that. Next thing for me is battery life. I know there's been a lot of complaints about people with poor battery life, but honestly, compared to the 11, I think after a few years, your phone does start just to degrade in the battery, and it's completely understandable. It's just gonna happen. There's nothing you can do about it. For me, I use this from 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. every day, so I'm on it 8 hours every day, and battery life has been really good for me, actually. I make it through the day on one charge. I have never had to charge my phone middle of the day or anything like that, even from extended use. I do all of the death scrolling on TikTok and Twitter and watching YouTube videos, watching Twitch streams, and I haven't had any issues. So far, so good for me. Other great feature that they came out with on this phone is the dynamic pill UI. If you guys aren't familiar, it is a brand new feature. I will kind of try to show you right up there, that instead of having your notch cut out, it is actually that little UI now. And it's really great. It helps with, it's really good for directions. So when you're on the road and you need which way am I turning, you look at the top and it literally just shows you a direction. It's perfect for that. Has your music up there, shows it just kind of integrates really well into their UI, and I think they've done a really good job of it, and I would not be surprised to see competitors try and copy it. With the notch not being there, I do feel like the phone feels like one again. With the notch, it always felt like your time and just the top icons were always kind of an afterthought. They weren't really integrated into the phone. So I think the pill really is a great idea. I think it just makes everything feel whole again. The screen brightness on this phone has been kicked up. It is over 2 times as strong as the previous phones. It goes up to 2000 nits. Nits is just a measurement of brightness for screens. It goes up to 2000 nits when you're outside in the bright sunlight. When you're watching HDR content, it goes up to 1600 nits, which is about the same as their 5K monitor. And by 5K, I don't mean 5K resolution, I mean $5,000 monitor. You get the same amount of brightness on your phone screen, which is pretty incredible technology. One thing that I am not a fan of at all is the always-on display. It really just doesn't serve a utility for me. I think that's my biggest thing, is I just don't see a reason. I'm never gonna have a point where I'm oh, I need to be able to see my screen right now, just to have it dimly lit. It just kind of felt like an afterthought to me, and it was a huge battery drainer, so maybe that's why people's batteries are draining so fast, is that always on display. I turned it off, no joke, probably after 3 hours, just because I didn't want to deal with it. It wasn't that great. It wasn't anything, I didn't feel like I was missing anything with it off, and I still don't. Moving on to the main selling point of this phone, and I think a lot of the reason that people are so excited to buy it, and if you're a content creator or someone that does photo or video, I think that's kind of why you're buying it, is the cameras on the back. They have done a huge upgrade from 12 megapixels all the way up to 48 megapixels on the main back camera. It shoots 4K ProRes now, video, as well as raw photo, which is huge for obviously anyone, like I said, doing photo or video. You want to have the raw files because you can do so much more with it over a JPEG or just a normal MP4. While I haven't done a ton of photo work with it yet, I've taken a couple pictures. I'll put them up here just so you guys can see. 48 megapixels is no joke. It's more than my Canon R5 that I'm shooting on right now. But I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna step in front of it, I'm gonna say it now. Is it better than any mirrorless camera right now? I really don't think it is. Any premium mirrorless camera, let me paraphrase that, or rephrase that. I really don't think it is. I think that they still have a little bit of work to do. Some of the photos have that over sharpened tone to it, and it just kind of, I don't know, it looks odd. And then when you're trying to shoot portrait, you really get that blurry, it almost looks like glowy. It almost looks like you're trying to use like a dream effect on it, but you don't want it. You want your photo to still be sharp, but it kind of like loses some sharpness in the edges, which I think is a big issue. But don't get me wrong, for someone who's traveling, for someone that wants a second camera or something, just a compact camera that they can carry around, I think this is a great solution. And as well as, it's your phone, so it's just kind of packed into there. I think we probably have a couple more years before this really starts competing with mirrorless cameras and being able to actually replace them. Me personally, I am gonna use this as like a second angle for videos like this and being able to get top-down shots without having to, suspend my camera, which weighs 20 pounds compared to my phone, so it just makes it a lot easier. And I really do see this as like a second camera solution for me, which I'm really excited about. With video, they introduced a new mode called action mode, and it pretty much is like, well, it's not really a mode. It is a mode, but it's also like a software that stabilizes all your footage. And it's actually really good for what for the technology that it is in a phone. I thought it was really good. Here's a video of a golf course entrance. I had my bag on my back, so when you're carrying that, you're like kind of like moving back and forth, and it actually held the video really well. It was fairly straight, and I did another video of me running, like just straight sprinting down the street. The technology itself just kind of makes it seem like you're on a gimbal with your phone, which you're not, and it's actually really impressive, and I think it's a really good technology that gets packed into a phone. So everything I've talked about, that comes down to like the ultimate question of, is it worth it? Is it worth the upgrade? That's kind of what everyone wants to know. I'm coming from a 12, I'm coming from a 13, should I get the 14? From what I've seen about 13s, if you're coming from a 13, I don't think it's worth it. I really don't. Unless you want the 48 megapixel camera, I really don't think it's worth it. Anything previous to that, I do think it is worth the upgrade. I had an 11. I saw a significant increase in battery life and obviously picture quality, which is huge for me as a photographer. Overall, I do think it's a great phone. I am very happy with it. It's been a week. I use it, like I said, 7-8 hours a day. It's kind of like a staple in my life at this point, so I'm kind of stuck doing that. But yeah, I just think it's a great phone. I do recommend it if you are looking for an upgrade. I think the camera quality is a huge sell to me and other content creators alike. This will definitely be put to good use in future videos, creating second angles, creating creative shots that I just wasn't able to do before with my main camera. I'm not gonna go into any like super technical detail tech specs. If you're looking for that, I'm not your person. I'm gonna review this phone as someone who just uses their phone for a lot of different things. I happen to be a photographer, so camera was a big selling point for me, and I just think that that's how I'm gonna look at the phone. Other than that, I don't really get too in depth. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this helped you either make a decision on upgrading or helped you make a decision on if you're just gonna hold on to your previous phone. Like I said, I don't think you can go wrong if you do upgrade. I think it's a great phone. I love the addition of the dynamic island UI. I think the battery life's been really good for me, and the camera's obviously great for me as well. So I really don't think you can go wrong if you do choose to upgrade. I will also link my case down below. It's a clear case, so you can still kind of see like the space black on the phone, but like we all drop our phones in normal everyday situations, so you don't have to be scared if you do drop your phone. Other than that, that's about all I got. So hope you guys have a fantastic day. Come on back for the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for all the recent support. It means the world to me. Have a great day. Peace out. Later. Mic test 1 2. Mic test 1 2. All right.